Yes, I feel this testimony is my last offering to God and to your parents not on STF, but this first year on STF. Because I feel extremely guided on this STF year. So that's why thank you God, thank you to your parents for this year. And yeah, definitely I felt that this year I've been guided because I haven't been given what I wanted, but always what I needed. And at the beginning of the year, before STF, my intention, I think one of my intentions on STF was solely to be the best fundraiser. That was it. I just wanted to, I remember telling Kiara, I just wanted to be the best. And I looked deep in myself and I realized that I wanted to be the best because if I'm going to open up and be honest about my deepest insecurities, is that I have a kind of deep fear of that when people look at me, there's no respect. And that was kind of my kind of intention, that people think, oh look, it's just another half Japanese boy here, fairly skinny, you know, whatever. I've seen one of those before. He's just another PC, you know. And from that, it kind of sprouted out this intense desire for recognition, and that was really kind of the fuel of my motivation in kickoff. So, and then that kind of fuel, it was motivation. So I had a lot of desire, and through that, because of course you're in Switzerland, so results did come, and after that, I mean, my head was very big. So definitely, what God has given me is not what I wanted. I mean, at that time I wanted that, and I received that. But what happened next was truly what I needed, and that's why I felt so guided. And I know a lot of you've heard about. I don't shut up about my time in Finland, but yeah, I felt that is exactly what I needed, because I felt like it was so desperate, so cold. It was December, it was freezing. It was so much struggle. And I was so frustrated, I was so desperate to kind of... anyway, my ego was in shatters, completely, and that's exactly what I needed. And but it's not just that, it's not just those experiences on STF which changed me, but also through that it helped me understand who well, to me now he's true father, but before he was just Reverend Samyang Moon. Anyway, before STF, my concept, once again, if I'm going to be honest, my concept of STF was, you know, perhaps people come off and they're very inspired, but perhaps they're being fake, and that's why, you know, a lot of them crash. And that was kind of my opinion. And also with Chupet, whenever someone said, oh, you know, I love Chu Father, and he'd been through so much suffering, and I was very resentful, like, just, you know, yeah, I was very angry at that before STF, let me get that. I think through that struggle in Finland, I was reading, it was the first time I read True Father's autobiography, and that was the beginning of my kind of developing my relationship with True Father. It was the first time I felt I could respect Reverend Samyang Moon just as a person. And because I felt I was going through so much struggle, and so much, I was so desperate, and I felt very kind of misunderstood. And I just remember some runs, I felt like I'm not even caning, I was just collapsing on the ground. And but at the same time, I remember one chapter, it was Hungnam in the snow, and very directly, just to see True Father's, his attitude, and compare it to my own attitude. And I'm just fundraising, he's dying, he's being tortured. And just through that, just on a very basic level, just from human being to human being, I really had to humble myself to him, and I had to, in English, say, take my hat off to True Father. So that was the beginning point of my, my kind of developing my relationship with True Father, and trying to understand who is this Reverend Samuel Moon. Because I think I realize it's such an important thing for second generation to understand the identity of True Father. And through that, having his passion to share the identity of the true parents to not only people outside on the street, but to other second generation who go their own way, who don't fully understand. And I felt so grateful that I could have some taste of and some understanding of who True Father is. And but I definitely felt that was the foundation. But I felt like I had my conversion experience. I joined the church in Romania when I was witnessing, and it was the first time I bothered to try and understand divine principle, and it's the first time I tried to investigate it and find out what it is. And because I respected Reverend Samuel Moon, back then, True Father, I wanted to know what kind of things what came out of his mouth. So I really found incredible value in divine principle, and I got very, very passionate about it. And I could see very much how ignorant, when I was witnessing, I saw how ignorant people are, how lost people are, and how much they need it. And the complete breakdown, the amount of times I just talked to guests and talking about how their families completely destroyed, and as a result, how one girl I witnessed to it called Alina. She completely had the laziest father in the world, terrible father, and because of this, she didn't have a father figure. So she's always seeking for love from other people. You say chapter 2, or kind of chapter 2 things, and I could see that she was so lonely and so desperate, and because her family, they didn't know about principle, they didn't try and they had no idea, so they didn't know how to create kind of a family, a principled family. I felt so grateful. I know why I've had such an incredible upbringing and such an incredible family, because they tried to practice these principles which are taught. So definitely I can see it's very, very, very valuable, and I've got so passionate about it, even giving chapter 2 lectures, going really, really overboard and crazy, but just accusing people of being ashamed. And Chris, why are you ashamed? Why don't you walk around naked? And anyway, I guess I got very scared, but I just really did feel extremely connected to divine principle. Like, I really did. This is something to share. This is something I must. And that's another reason why I felt like I must do a second year. I found something, not just inspiration, but something extremely, something extremely like a rock, something very deep. And I could finally accept True Father as my Messiah because of divine principle, because of my experiences with it. And, of course, his life course, which I could connect to more because of my time in Finland. So I felt so guided, incredibly guided. So I know that my mom and my dad, there are certain conditions for me to have these experiences and for me to grow and to develop. And yeah, like the Chinese, I'm not a man yet, but not yet, but maybe after second year. My deepest experience, of course, I'm incredibly lucky and fortunate to experience True Father 2 times in Europe. Actually, in earlier in the year, I thought it would be nice to go to Greece in STF, and actually it would also be nice if True Father paid, came visit Europe. And then eventually, crazy things, they were called, "You're going to Greece tomorrow to see True Father." It was really incredible, and of course that was an incredibly deep experience and an incredible privilege. But actually, one of my deepest experiences was actually from a movie. And I don't know how many of you have seen Passion of the Christ. And the reason was because I thought it very, very clearly conveyed the first Messiah's suffering, what he had to go through, and kind of the parallel, I got very, very angry and very kind of accusational of Peter. How could you said to Jesus you would be there, you lied, you betrayed him, and you lived in the time of the Messiah. And when I connected that back to myself, and I thought, you know, I also live in this time of the Messiah, in even a greater time. And I'm saying, I'm accusing Peter of this, but I'm in the position of Peter. I'm saying all these things. I want to commit to true Father. I want to do something for God, but what happens if I go to university? That's one of my fears, actually. Not my fears, but I'm slightly anxious, like that kind of anxiety you get before you get dropped off. Like, oh gosh, what's it going to be like? You know, I really like. Before everyone, I want to do well, and I want to represent God in Japan. And I want to do something for God in Japan, but will I do a Peter? Well, I also kind of deny, like, if someone asks, you know, what if a whole classroom in university, if they're accusing, you know, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not drinking. What the hell's wrong with you? You believe this guy? Oh my God. Will I be able to stand up and say, no, I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. I could very easily fall into the same trap Peter did. So that was incredibly powerful, and just to see Jesus' incredible suffering, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's extremely graphic and extremely painful to see, and it just made me think of Truffaut and kind of what he's been through, and what he's been through is exactly the same, but how many years more? You know, Jesus 33 years, but Truffaut 90 odd years. Yeah. Anyway, I had a big fear before STF that. I mean, I was very kind of brainwashed that. Oh, my life is just, you know, you get blessed, you get matched because that's what BCs do, you know, and then you get a job and then you die. But I'm so grateful that on STF I could discover this is absolutely not true. That I live in such an incredible time, we talk a lot about this Foundation Day, but that, you know, not just this Foundation Day, but the whole, the fact that I'm born as a second generation, that I have this incredible, you know, whether I like it or not, I have this responsibility of testifying about true Father, you know, and that's why I have such incredible respect for blessed children who stand up and decide to take responsibility within. They want to share something, and they want to help other blessed second generation to develop their faith. Because I see so many second generation, so many friends who just disappear. I'm sure you've also, especially second gen, you've also kind of discovered it, you've seen it, you've witnessed it yourself, but I thought to myself, am I also going to do the same? I understand I've been given this responsibility, and I've given so much to STF. And I can do so much. Not just me, but of course as a second generation, I can do so much for God in Japan. But I can also, because God has given me so much, I can create so much more pain as well. And it's really like a double-edged sword. Yeah, I guess that's another one of my reasons. I want to commit to another year because I don't want other generation to kind of just completely not understand what they've been through, and when they go to the, you know, eventually they will regret that. Holy crap! I was living in this time, but no one told me. No one even made an effort to kind of let me understand how important this time that I'm living in. That I live in this age where true Father is on this earth, and true Father exists. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you guys who know me, like Songju and Matty and Patrick Anna, of course, I'm sure that they can. Yeah, anyway, they could. I don't know. they can't imagine me saying this kind of stuff. And also me as well. But anyway, I feel extremely kind of like this is very fake. This is based on something real. This is based upon my experiences and that I've had, and that this is based upon a rock and true Father and a rock, the divine principle, and that I do want to share this, and that this will become a passion in my life. And I want to help this, especially second generation. Of course, it's important to witness those outside, but especially second generation, I want to help other people understand that as well, but also develop myself as well. So, yeah, thank you.